Do you binge on sweets and sugary treats even though you know better? If you do, then do not go anywhere because in this video, I'm going to share with you a proven tool to really get on your path of freedom from sugar addiction that has nothing to do with food plans or diets or detoxes or cleanses. It actually has nothing to do with food. So if hearing that piques your interest, make sure to like this video so I know to make more videos like this for you. Hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I post a new video. And in case you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Debbie Lichter, food addiction expert and founder of the Freedom Embodied Academy. And I help high-achieving women who know what to do but who still fall back in the sabotage cycle with food actually have lasting freedom from food addiction and food obsession so that you can feel comfortable in your skin, be authentically you, and have the confidence to shine your light in the world. Okay, so if you've struggled with sugar addiction and binging on sweets, then unless you've been living under some rock, you have most likely heard a lot of research and data around how bad sugar is for you. In fact, you probably have so much knowledge about this that you could teach a class on it. And most likely you have already tried to apply a strategy of cutting out the sugar. Maybe you've gone on a detox or a cleanse, or you've tried a medically supervised plan, or you've applied all your willpower to intermittent fasting or keto. And maybe you actually have received some results. Maybe you were able to be good for a while. Maybe you've even lost some weight on these plans. But if you're listening to this right now, then chances are you may also fall into one of two groups. So group A is that you've gone back to the sweets. You maybe even have put some weight back on in spite of everything you know, in spite of everything that you have tried. And group B is that you were on some restrictive food plan, trying to abstain from sugar, terrified of going off of it because you don't trust yourself and you are still completely obsessed with food. So which camp are you in? Are you currently in a sweets sabotage cycle, or are you on a restrictive food plan and scared to go off it in case you go back to your old ways? Go ahead and post a comment below. And whichever group you fall into, I want to give you a proven tool to help you get on your path of actual freedom from sugar addiction and binging on sweets that has nothing to do with diets or detoxes or deprivation of any kind. Now, before I go into sharing this, I want to get a few things clear. So I originally came from a camp of addiction recovery that promoted 100% abstinence from your alcoholic foods, which absolutely included sugar. But as I started working with women and being guided to support women on their path of freedom from food addiction and food obsession, my gut intuition told me, don't put that restriction on your clients. And so I didn't. And what I found was that when women got free of the addiction, when they got free from the compulsion, their relationship with sugar completely shifted. And I was watching women who came in with full-blown sugar addictions, having this freedom where they were able to enjoy a piece of chocolate or a bowl of ice cream without it sending them into a binge, without it bringing back the obsession. And I realized these women had been restored to a state of normalcy and neutrality with sugar. The sugar was not the actual problem. The problem was what was driving them to sugary foods and sweets in the first place, which is something I go way more into in this video right here. And I've now experienced the same thing in my own life because I've been restored to a state of normalcy and neutrality regarding many of the foods that used to be on my alcoholic foods list, which further confirms that the sugar is not the problem. The substance is not the problem. Now, I believe personally that when it comes to any addiction, the actual substance is not the problem. The substance is actually the solution. The problem is that internal discomfort and dis-ease that is driving us for an external source of ease and comfort, which we find oftentimes in sugar, which is why we crave the sugar. Now, I know that everything I'm saying here about sugar and sugar addiction in this video goes against what so many of my colleagues talk about out there. And so, I just want to bless them because they're doing amazing work. And I just want to say that if their protocols are working for you, then I say keep doing it because I'm always a fan of whatever is working for you. But if you keep going back to sugar in spite of everything you know, if you are on some restrictive food plan, terrified to go off of it and still obsessed about food, if you have a fear of slipping back into your old ways, then I am talking to you right now. And this tool I'm going to share with you in just a sec is absolutely a tool that can support you on getting on your path of freedom from food addiction and binging on sweets, because it's starting to address an aspect of that underlying discomfort and dis-ease. The part of that underlying discomfort and dis-ease that this tool helps you to start to address is the part of you that feels unappreciated, the part of you that feels frustrated, the part of you that possibly feels resentful or possibly feels like your voice isn't being heard, or that you're being misunderstood, or that you're just so sick and tired of always trying to be good. This part of you oftentimes will have an inner attitude of, I just deserve to have what I want, or I just want what I want and don't tell me not to. This part of you is often, not always, but often a younger part of you, like an inner girl or an inner boy that is throwing an absolute temper tantrum. And this part of you will hands down, single-handedly continue to sabotage your best efforts as long as it feels shut down, misunderstood, unsupported, not given a voice, as long as this part is not getting what it needs. Now, this part of you might say it wants chocolate cake or pastries or cookies or sweets, but this part most likely needs a hug, needs to feel appreciated, needs to feel valued or seen or acknowledged or gotten or loved or accepted, or like this part has a voice, right? That's what this part needs. If you start connecting with this part of yourself on a consistent basis, asking her what she needs, and then truly giving it to her, just watch what happens with your compulsive need to overeat. If you are feeling deeply seen and appreciated and valued and filled and supported, just watch what happens with that compulsive drive to binge on sugar. Now, I want to be really clear. This is an incredibly effective tool that can support you in getting on your path of freedom from sugar addiction and binging on sweets, but it is not the whole solution at all. If you'd like to find out more about what the whole solution entails, I highly recommend that you download my Freedom from Food Addiction Clarity Guide. I will leave a link in the description below. Definitely check that out. And if you would like my support in getting free from sugar addiction and binging on sweets, I will leave another link below in the description box for you to schedule a call with my team. So now you know the proven tool that can put you on your path of ending sugar addiction and binging on sweets that has nothing to do with diets, detoxes, or deprivation of any kind. So if you got some value here today, please go ahead and give this video a like, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time.